Have you ever felt like you're talking to a wall when you're using an AI? You ask for something super specific and it comes back with, well, something completely different. You are definitely not alone. So in this explainer, we're going to walk through a simple 4-step method to debug your prompts and get the answers you're actually looking for. And when I say better, I mean a lot better. We're talking about a method that can boost the quality of your AI answers by at least 30%, pretty much instantly. This isn't some kind of magic trick, it's just a clear, repeatable process that works. Look, we've all been there. You ask for a marketing plan and the AI gives you like a history of marketing from the 1950s. It's so frustrating, right? But here's the secret. The problem isn't usually the AI, it's the prompt. And it really comes down to these 3 things. First, vague prompts get you vague answers. It's that classic saying, garbage in, garbage out. Second, if you don't give it context, the AI is basically flying blind. It has no idea who you are or what you really need. And finally, with no structure, you're just rolling the dice on the output. It's totally unpredictable. But here's the good news. You do not have to keep guessing and hoping for the best. There is a simple, powerful framework, a debugging process, really, that can turn those weak, frustrating prompts into incredibly powerful instructions. And here it is. This is the whole shebang, the 4-step framework for crafting amazing prompts. Detect, refine, stress test, and polish. You should really think of it like a pre-flight checklist before you send your request to the AI. So let's break down each of these steps. All right, let's jump into our first step. Step 1 is all about diagnostics. This is where you put on your detective hat and investigate your own prompt. So the first move is to look at your prompt with a really critical eye. Where is it fuzzy? Where is it ambiguous? For example, if you ask for a short summary, what does short actually mean to you? A paragraph? A page? 2 sentences? You've got to find those weak spots. These are the exact questions you should be asking yourself. What's ambiguous here? What crucial piece of information did I forget to include? And maybe most importantly, is my goal crystal clear and actually actionable for an AI? Answering these will light up all the problem areas in your prompt. Okay, so once you've found the weaknesses, it's time to rebuild. And that brings us to step 2, refine and structure. This is where you take your raw idea and turn it into a solid blueprint for the AI to follow. Refining is all about adding the crucial details. So instead of saying, write a blog post about marketing, you'd say, write a 500-word blog post for a beginner audience about the top 5 social media marketing trends in 2024. You see the difference? It's night and day. And here are the tools you need to do it. Add constraints. Tell it you want bullet points, or a 200-word summary, or to write in the tone of a pirate, whatever. Then add context. Who is this for? Why do you need it? And finally, you have to state your intent. What is the ultimate outcome you're trying to achieve with this? Okay, your prompt is now structured, it's detailed, but we're not quite done yet. This final phase is all about making it absolutely bulletproof. We're going to test it and polish it into its final, perfect form. Let's start with a stress test. The whole point of a stress test is to find any remaining weak spots before the AI does. You almost have to think like a lawyer trying to find loopholes in a contract. Your goal is to make your prompt so airtight that it is impossible to misunderstand. And here's a pro tip for you. You can actually ask the AI to stress test your prompt for you. Just give it your prompt and ask, what part of this request is unclear or ambiguous? The AI's answer can be so revealing. You also want to check for any instructions that might clash with each other, like asking for a summary that's both brief and comprehensive. And finally, we polish. This is the editing stage. It's about trimming every single unnecessary word to make your instruction as clean, as direct, and as efficient as it can possibly be. We're going for maximum signal, minimum noise. Here's a super simple checklist for polishing. First, cut out all the fluff, get straight to the point, and use strong, clear action verbs like create, analyze, and summarize instead of wishy-washy language. So, theory is great and all, but let's see this framework actually in action. We're going to take a really weak prompt and transform it into a powerful, precise instruction. This is where it all comes together. On the left, we've got that classic weak prompt, help me with marketing. It's vague, there's zero context, zero structure. The AI has no choice but to give you a generic, useless essay. But now look at the right. The after prompt is just a masterpiece of precision.
It uses our framework perfectly. The intent is a 10-point marketing plan. The context is a new fitness app. And the constraints are bullet points, be concise, and focus on social media growth. And the result of that? Well, it's a total transformation. You go from a useless, vague answer to a specific, actionable plan you can actually use. That is the 30% improvement we promised you at the very beginning. See, it's not about writing more, it's about writing smarter. So, I really want to leave you with this one final thought. Stop thinking of it as just writing a question. Start thinking of it as designing and debugging an instruction. Because a truly great prompt isn't just written, it's debugged. So, what's the first prompt you're going to go fix?